Hello there. Today we're going to make a woven heart. I got this idea from YouTube. A young girl named Archie Sederia. I believe that's how you say her last name. But anyways, she made a great big one out of construction paper, and I thought I'm going to downsize it and make it for the front of a card. So what I did was I took a piece of scrap paper and just cut it out so that it's 4 by 5, so 4 inches wide by 5 inches long, and then I folded it in half and I cut out my heart shape. Then I went and I opened it up and I just folded this part in half, and I just used my scissors and went in and cut about 1/4 inch off. So when I cut this out, all right, so that way I can lay it on. So now I've got a pattern, so that way I can lay it on the paper that I want to weave. So I laid it down here and traced around it. And then you could take this piece that you've cut out and you can lay it down and you trace around that. So now you've got a 1/2 inch border going around it. Isn't that neat? So then I took and I just drew lines, and they're 1 centimeter wide. So I just did 1 centimeter all the way down, and the same on the other side. And then I went ahead and used my X-Acto knife and just cut straight across. So I've got all these cut, okay, going over the V part. So now it's time to go ahead and decorate this. I'm going to weave it. And Marina sent me this package of paper, quilling papers. So I'm going to use some of these because these will be perfect for this. Thank you, Marina. I really appreciate it. I was so excited when I saw these on the box because I love playing with quilling papers because they're all cut the same exact size and they're just perfect. Alrighty, and there's 3 colors in here, which is really awesome. So I'm going to take 2 of each color and pull them out. There, and then I need this light yellow. We'll see if I can get this out too. Oh yes, good. Yay, it worked, it worked, it worked. There, ta-da, very good. All right, let's move that out of the way. So now what we want to do is just start weaving. And I drew this on the back side because I'm going to work on the back side, and then I can just turn it over and the front will show. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and start weaving. Let's see, we've got to start here first. Up and over and under. Come on, go through. I just pushed it right back out. All right, silly girl me. All right, so that one's in. Good enough. All righty, I like a lot, I like a lot. And I just want to make sure that it's up to the edge, because then we're going to go back through and we're going to trim it afterwards. So make sure you can see a little piece hanging out. All right, and then right here, we can go ahead and we can trim it right in the middle of these 2 lines here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. There. And then I can trim this. Where'd my little, I guess I can use these. There. Okay, so there's that one. Then we can do orange. We're going to do that one opposite. So this time we're going to come under here. Is that going to be far enough over? No, it won't. Okay. So we need to come over there, under here. Whoops. There, like that. Ta-da! All right. So that looks pretty darn good. All right, so, and I'm just gonna tear this right underneath where that line will be. All right, so this is perfect. So I just want to put a little bit of glue right behind here, because that's the last little part that's going to be stuck down anyway. So that's perfect. All right, and then I can trim this in between those two drawn lines. Okay, so now I need the next color. All right, I did the yellow. I need the orangey one, the gold one. Okay. So now we want this one to go under here, over here, and under here. Alrighty. And then we can work on this end, and we want this to go under here. And I think we're all done after that. So I know it's not going to go way over here, so that's good. All right. So this is about halfway up, so that's fine. All right, move that all the way over. Perfect. Now we can lift this up and put glue underneath here. There. And then we can feel it. See, what I'm doing is I just put my fingers and I pinch it together right where it's between here. Then I can go ahead and I can pick that right off. There. So now I know that that's glued together properly. So now I need this mustard colored one. Alrighty. And we're going to go, nope, under this one, over this one, under this one, over this one. And you can do these wider strips if you want to. I really wanted to use these strips that Marina sent me for two reasons. One, because I really like the intricate size for something like this, but also I love how the colors match. They came in a package together, so you don't have to think about how they're matching. All right, so this one we have to make sure it comes up to the top here so we can see that. All right, this one, it just needs to be glued down. There's the glue right there. All righty, and then torn right in the middle there. Okay, so now we need the orange. Okay, so that needs to go, that's over a little bit, so I'm gonna have to just do it this way. Alrighty, over, under, over, under, and over. Push that on over. That just has to go halfway up. Push those over. That is perfect. Put a little glue under here. And it makes it nice to have the two rows here, because it's got the halo around it. That makes it look nice, and it keeps it nice and neat. All right, so again, you just kind of pinch it back behind, in front and back, and then you can just pull that off, and that makes it perfect on the back side. All right. And we can go ahead and start gluing these down. We can glue these down, glue that down. But these ones, you want to glue it real close to the last strip that you wrapped it under. There, okay. So now, here we go again. Do. All right, this one, nope, we want the bright gold one. This is the golden one, okay. Alrighty, so we want this one over, under, over, under, over, under. There you go. Take it up to the top. There. Okay, tuck that in. Perfect. And then I can, oops, I don't need to use my empty pop can to glue things. That's funny. All right, so let me put my fingers here, and we can go ahead and pull that off. And we can go ahead and glue that down. There. Alrighty, now next color. So this color, so then the bright orange. So this one's gonna go under, over, under, over, under, and over. And there you go. Push that over to the edge. This is going to go up here. Perfect. Alrighty, so we need to glue this one down. And this end down. There. Then we can trim this off. Perfect. All right, now what's the next color? So what's the gold? There's the golden one. All righty, so then I'm going to go over, under, over. Under, over, and under. There, make sure it comes out the top. Move it on over. This is a lot of work doing these little teeny skinny ones, but I think it's going to be gorgeous when it's all done. Yep, I do. Okay, so this is good. I can go ahead and tear that off. I can come back here and go ahead and glue that down. Alrighty. Now I can go ahead and do the next one, gold, and then the mustard. Here's mustard. All right, so under, over, under, over, under. And there we go. Push that over. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, then we'll go ahead and glue that down. Glue this down. Alrighty, perfect. And then we need the bright orange. And we want this under, over, under, over, under, over, pull that over, and then under here. And that should be the last one I can pull under on that side. Alrighty. Pull it up to the top so I can see it. Alrighty. Knock that over some more. There we go. Alrighty. This one needs to be glued down. Okay, and this one needs to be glued down. Didn't know weaving could be so monotonous. Is that the right word? I think so. Yep, yep, yep. All right. So then after the orange is the golden one. That's this one. Alrighty, so we want this over here, under and over, under and over, and then put this over here. Alrighty, this one we can pull off. This one. We can glue down here. There, turn it over, glue this under here. Is that one glued down? Nope, let's glue that down. Glue this one down. Alrighty, that's looking pretty darn good. So now the mustard. So now we want to go under, over, under, over. And then under that last one. Let's move that up. Come on, there it is. There. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can rip that one off. This one can be glued down. Turn it over and we can glue this one down. Alrighty. Now we need the orange. And we gotta do this one. So this is probably a good video to go ahead and put it on pause and cut yours out and then work on yours while I'm working on mine. Especially if you do yours a little bit wider strips than mine, because then you'll get done sooner than me. Mine's going to take a little while, but that's okay. I just figured I'd do real time, like I do all my videos, because I don't know how to do it any other way anyway, so. Yep, you get the real deal from me. Yep, yep, yep. There. All right, so I've got that one done. And then I need the gold. Yep. So this one goes under and over and under and over and under and over. And slide that on over. I just saw, I was flipping through YouTube just to see what was showing up on my screen, and they showed a lady that adopted a young teenage mom who had triplets. Oh my goodness, a 17-year-old girl who had triplets. And so she adopted the girl and the 3 triplets. Isn't that sweet? What a neat idea. I saved it so I can watch it. I didn't watch it yet, but I'm sure that girl is very thankful. Alrighty, so then we need the mustard. This one is the mustard. My grandma used to call it mouse turd. Please pass the mouse turd, and we'd all start giggling. Hee 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 hee. All 6 of us kids. And my mother would not be pleased at all. She hated that. But when we were at Grandma's house, Grandma's rules. So she would say that. Sometimes I think she said it because she loved to get us kids laughing. But I think she said it also just to irritate my mom, probably. She was the mother-in-law. Oh, we used to love to play penny poker with her. And she would have, every time we'd show up at her house, then she'd have our little cups of pennies, the little round margarine containers, the little small bowls. And, whoops, that one needs to not go in there. All right. And she'd have them all ready for us, filled up with pennies. And then we'd lay all the cards out. She'd pass the cards out. And it was just like playing bingo with cards is all it was. Because I forget exactly how. I've got it downstairs. But it's like everybody puts a penny in the middle, and then you play bingo with your cards. So whatever cards, and you play with 2 decks. So whatever cards are down, and then you turn the other cards up one at a time. And if you have a 5, you cover up a 5. If you have a 3, you cover up a 3. So it's really fun. And so one of the rounds you put a penny in, and other rounds you pull a penny out. And at the end, and everybody takes turn being the dealer. And at the end, everybody gets a turn to see how much money they got in the end. And whatever money, she would start us out with $1 worth of pennies. And any money that we won over the $1, we got to keep. So we all thought that was the neatest game, of course, because pennies, that's a lot of money to have, 100 pennies. And even if you had 50. And she would take us down to the candy store, the penny candy store, and let us pick out penny candies. And if we were the losers, she would always buy us candy anyways, but it was always fun to see if you could win those pennies, though. And you didn't have to spend your pennies on it either. She would always just buy it. She'd give us each a quarter or a dime, and she'd say, here you go, you can all buy one. You can all buy some. So we'd sit there and pick out 10 pieces of candy or 25 pieces of candy or whatever it was that she would give us, and that was always so much fun. Yep. All right. So the orange, and then, yep, the gold. Both of my grandmothers were just so different, but I loved going to both. Yep. And Grandpap had his voice box removed in his 20s, I guess. He had throat cancer from smoking. And so I never knew what his actual voice sounded like. Because in his 20s, that was well before we were born. So, but he talked through the hole in his throat, and he sounded like Donald Duck. And we used to, when he'd get mad at us, we'd start giggling and laughing because he sounded so funny. And he'd get so, he'd be saying in his Donald Duck voice, you keep it up, you keep it up. He was always threats, but he didn't mean anything by it. All right. So then the gold, and then this color. We're almost there. Slowly but surely getting there. It was funny. Grandma June Svigat. Grandma Svigat. She wore a tube top over her old lady boobs whenever she worked out in the yard. That was so funny. We were like, Grandma, why are you wearing a tube top? You're too old to be wearing that. She'd say, well, I get too hot. And she wore that every single time she worked out in the garden. She would put that tube top on, and her neighbors just got used to it. If we'd be out walking around the block, oh yeah, you're Lorna's grandchildren. And she knew exactly, they would know exactly who we were talking about when we were saying, yep, Grandma June. They'd say, yep, we know you, Grandma. And we'd say, the one with the tube top. And they'd go, oh, we know. All right. Oh, I actually used 3 whole ones. Impressive. Okay. There's enough to do another one with this. Good. And then Grandma Vargo. Oh, so Grandma June would wear her tube top and shorts to work in the garden. I never, ever saw Grandma Vargo in shorts or anything like that. She always had dress pants on and heels. Even during gardening, when she was gardening, she would still have her heels on. And in the house, then she always wore the heels with with the feathers on the front, the house shoes. She was a real lady. She really took her lady of the house very very strict. She was very honored to be the lady of the house. Yep. And she used to tell us girls, when you're old enough, you're going to be the woman of your house, the lady of your house. All right, so orange and then the gold. But she would wear her dress pants to the garden, and then her tops that she made, her button-up blouses or pullover blouses. She would either make them, or she was a seamstress. That's what she did for a living. So she worked out of her home, and she would sew for other people and alter people's clothing for them. And she had a sign at the bottom of the driveway. She did that for years. Yep, Grandpap told her from the very beginning that he earned he earned the money for the house expenses, and anything she earned was for her, so she could buy her whatever she needed. Because he just thought she was beautiful, and he wanted her to feel beautiful and to be able to have money to spend on herself. But he couldn't afford that part of it, but he could afford the household bills. So that's what he did. And so she sewed for many, many years. And then with her sewing money, then she would buy material or clothing for herself and or for my mom, because she was a girl. And then the boys, they would just buy them their clothes, whatever they needed. Yep. And I remember going to Grandma Vargo's, and I remember the old metal tub we used to take baths in. She'd fill that tub up, and she'd say, "Okay, girls first." So she'd fill it up with nice warm water, and us girls would fit in there together. When we were real little, then she would put me, Jimmy, and Tommy in there when we were real little. But then when we had 6 of us there, then she would do girls first, and so she would put us 2 girls in there first, and we would bathe. And then when we were done, then she'd say, "Okay, now the boys, youngest to the oldest." So that's what she'd do. I'm wondering how far down that's gonna be. So I think I'm gonna just leave that, because that'll go halfway. Okay. And my mom said that's what they used to do when she was growing up too. That Grandma always took her bath first, and then Mom would take her bath, and all the same water, because they couldn't afford to do it all separately and to be heating it all like that. So Grandma would go first, then Mom, and then the boys, and then Grandpap would go last. So, oh, the different things that you learn about your family. Yep. But Grandma always looked so prim and proper and so dressed, and always put her lipstick on, and always was ready to answer the door, no matter who would knock at the door. She never, she believed in being ready. You were supposed to be ready to answer that door and to entertain if need be. And yep. I miss my grandparents. They've been dead for quite a long time. But when I think of them or talk about them, then it's nice. They're definitely nice memories, which is nice. Yep. It's good to have nice memories. Wow, almost done with this. Okay, orange and then the gold. Wow, that's a little tiny hole. My grandpap, he was so silly. Oh, he used to love to mess with us. He would we'd be sitting up at the counter, the kitchen counter. There's a Grandpa built the house from scratch, and he put a bar at the counter with four benches, and so we'd all sit up there, and as soon as we'd get there, no matter what time, and we always got there really late, right before bedtime, but we'd get there and she'd have cups of coffee milk waiting for us kids. It was just like a tablespoon maybe of coffee in the little coffee cup, and then the rest was all milk and sugar. So, but oh my goodness, we just thought that was the neatest thing ever, because we could have our cup of coffee as soon as we got there, and we looked forward to that because we felt so loved and so special, because Grandma would make us each a cup of coffee. And it was so yummy and so sweet and so good. Yep, we'd have that, and then we'd get ready to go to bed, and then she'd open up the couch for us because it was a couch bed, and she'd open that up for us, and we'd all climb into that bed, and the twins would lay on. I think they went in the bedroom with my parents, because it was just us four kids that used to, us four older kids anyways, that we used to sleep on the couch, and girls at one end and boys at the other, so we'd do our feet towards each other. Yep. The things we remember are kind of neat. And then when my cousins Lauralee and Danny would come over, oh my goodness, Danny was a butt biter. Literally. He would get underneath the covers and he'd try to bite people in the butt. Oh, he never bit us girls though, thank goodness, but he would bite the boys every single time. But the boys were really mean to him. They would tease him something else. Oh my goodness, they were so mean to him. And so he'd be under there crawling around and biting the boys. And us girls were so thankful he didn't bite us. But boy, to have 6 of us kids in the bed, oh my goodness, that was even worse than 4. 4 was just perfect. That was comfortable enough. We could all sleep together and stay warm. So thank goodness. But oh my goodness, when the cousins would come over and sleep over too, wow. But we used to love it because they would sit in at the kitchen table and they'd all be smoking and drinking their beer and talking about memories. And we used to love to hear their stories. Remember when this, and remember when that, and that was always fun to hear their old time stories. And it was Grandma's brother, Uncle Abe, Abraham Smith, and Aunt Dolly. And they couldn't have kids. And so they adopted Danny and Lauralee back during the wartime, because they needed families to adopt the kids. And Aunt Dolly and Uncle Abe did. They wanted a boy and a girl, and they said they didn't care if there was something wrong with them or not. And I guess they were having a real hard time getting the kids with special needs. And Danny and Lauralee were both special needs kids. So, but my Aunt Dolly said, that's okay, we'll take them. We'll take them. They wanted to have a boy and a girl. And they got their boy and girl. And Danny he was a little slow, but he was legally blind. So he had these glasses that, they look like fly glasses. And they were like glasses on top of glasses on top of glasses. It was so interesting to see his glasses. All right, I might be able to fit one more. Let's see, that one. And then the gold. Nope, that's the mustard. This one. We'll try one more. I think this will fit in here. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Get on under there. Oh yes, that should. Come on, move over here. I need you to move it over. All right, well, it's got to come through here. So let me pop it through here first. There it goes. And then that one doesn't, but this one should. All right, so this one should go through this one. Maybe, maybe not. All right, maybe not. Okay. All righty then. Well, that one fits there, so that's get glued down. Uncle Abe was a carpenter, so oh my goodness, he bought a house and it was about a good 50 minute drive away from my grandma's house, and he rebuilt everything. Oh, he built their dressers right into the wall and the desk right into the wall. Oh, it was just amazing. That's neat. Okay, so now that's all done. So now we just have to trim around the outer edges. And we used to love to go up to Uncle Abe's house. They had the neatest house, and they had this, oh, Aunt Dally had this humongous garden out back in the field. Oh, she would say, okay, Danny and Laura Lee, go on out and fill this container up with peas and fill this container up with potatoes or whatever it was. She would tell them to fill it up with whatever she needed for dinner, and then she would cook dinner for all of us. Oh, it was so yummy. That's pretty. Alrighty, very nice. So now I just need to trim this up a little bit. I guess I should have had those up some more, so I'm going to have to trim it up a little bit more, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and cut it halfway down to make sure that I get all the lines in there. So I'm going to make this outer border a little bit thinner, but that's okay. I can deal with that. There. And that's a good idea. That's a fun memory of them. Yep. That's really pretty. I like that. Alrighty. Ooh-wee. So I just have to glue those two down and we are good to go. These came out nice. So you really heard some interesting tales today, didn't you? Danny and Laura Lee. Danny has since passed away just a few years ago. He ended up living in an apartment building when he got older. And it was cute because he was very, very friendly. And so he would go out and he would say hi to all his neighbors. And if they didn't say hi, then he'd knock on their doors. Hi, it's me. And because he just figured it was his house. The entire apartment building was his house. And those were all the people that lived with him. So that's the way he understood it. So he would say hi and pester everybody. That came out pretty. Isn't that nice? Look at this. I love the way that looks. That's really pretty. And there's the back side. That's pretty cool. So now, it's been 39 minutes. Woohoo! Okay, there's the other piece that I was looking for. Alrighty, so now we can make this into a card. This needs to be rounded a little bit more. That looks better. Okay. Yep. So let's put this on a card. Do. Let's see. I have, here's a short card. Is that big enough? Oh, it is. All right, good. So that can definitely go on there. That'll be pretty. And let's get a color that can go back behind this. What's this? Oh, that is so pretty. I hate to cover it up, though. Ooh, that's sharp. That's pretty. I like it. Yes, I do. Do I feel like covering that up, though? I don't know. And what about, oh yeah, where's those weird pieces? Nope, not that. Nope, where'd they go? I had some weird pieces. Oh, right here. Look at these. These are so weird. Isn't that weird? That's when you get up the airbags from Amazon, and that looks like they're this color, and they just have that. They feel like they're filled with air when you cut it apart and open it up. There is air in there, but it's also this weird white stuff too, this foamy stuff. I don't think that's big enough. No, it's not. But isn't that weird? All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to hand cut this out because it's not going to work on my cutter because this is mulberry paper. So let's see. We need it to be, cut a little bit down from this. What am I looking for? Pencil. All right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by what? 4? Nope, 4 1/4 by 5. All right. So we need this to be inches, Barbara. We want it 4 by 5. No, we want it a little bit bigger because this was 4 by 5. Now it's about 4. So we want it 4 3/4 by 4. Okay. I can do that. 4 3/4. Boy, you got to do things the old-fashioned way here. I don't know if that's straight. I guess that is straight. All right. 4 3/4. Is this the right one too? 5 is that. So half and then half of that. 1 2 3. So it's on that third one. All right. It's hard to tell by this ruler here. Let me use this one. There. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So 4 3/4. Yeah, and I was off, so I'm glad I'm looking for that. So 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Alrighty. So we've got this one and this one. And then we need 4 inches going this way. And 4 inches. All right, that's good. So then I just need to bring this line down farther. Boy, this is so caveman. I haven't measured something out like this in a while. So caveman, huh? Alrighty, so let's trim this down and trim this across. Such pretty paper. Oh my goodness, that's just gorgeous. All right, so now we can put this on here. And if I measured correctly, that should fit right on there. Well, I'll be. Woohoo! I did. I am impressed. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do this. So unless you want to take an hour to make one card, then you may want to do wider strips. But I think I would do this again with the tiny strips because I really like the way that looks. Yes, I do. All right, turn that over and give a little backy rub. There. That is really pretty. All right, let's turn it over and put the glue on there. Do. Awesome sauce. All righty. Isn't that a pretty colored card? Oranges. My mother would like this because these are her favorite colors. She loves the red, yellow, and oranges. That's a nice card. All right, very good. And I've got some of this left. Let's make a strip bottom here. There's that one. And here's this one. Put it right up against the other one. Ta-da! And the mustard is next. Aren't these like Burger King colors or something? Mustard, orange, and brown. Or are they? I don't remember. I'll have to pay attention. There, that's pretty. Isn't that nice? So now I can just decorate however I want to. I can put a bow on there. That would be pretty to stick a bow on it. But I can't do that if I'm going to mail it to my mom. I could do a small knot. So, but, alrighty, I think I'm just going to leave it for now until I figure out what I want to put on it, because that's plenty long enough. Oh yes, 46 minutes. So not too shabby. Isn't that pretty? So what do you think of that? So again, I just took half a sheet of paper. I took a full sheet and folded it in half, and then cut it in half. So that way this is a half sheet of paper. And then I cut it down 4 by 5. Folded it in half and drew my heart and cut it out. So there were 2 of them. And then I took and opened this up and folded this back over, just this one, and I just came in about 1/4 of an inch and just cut around here. So that way I could have this pattern too. So that way you have both patterns. So you've got the outer rim and then you've got the inside rim. And that's what you need. Because then once you're all done doing it, then you're going to cut it right in the center here. So you're going to cut right here, all the way around. And then you get nice, neat edges. Isn't that cool? Alrighty. And again, the girl that showed how to do this, and hers is really different because she did a really big one and then she left the bottom streamers hanging and she hung it on the wall. That was cool. Her name is Archie Sederia. So thank you, Archie. If you watch my video, that would be wonderful. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.